Hey friends, how are you? It's Mr. McKinney here with Mr. McKinney's Historic Houston for our live first time ever event we're doing with realtors to really showcase historic homes. Check out this home. We're about to take you to 4603 Ivanhoe Street, okay? In fact, we're going to do that with a really cool, fun twist. We're going to show you and meet some really interesting people. One of them just arrived, by the way. Here he is. You're going to love this. This is going to be a really cool opportunity to look at a rare car. It is called the Mark II Lincoln Continental. So we're looking forward to being able to show this to you right now. Here we go. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is Dean Forbes, and he is involved with several different classic car clubs. Dean, how you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Good to meet you. Well, now tell folks real quick how many classic car clubs that you're involved in, including you serve as the leadership on one of them.
I'm the director of the course Lincoln and Continental Owners Club. Also, I'm a member of the board of the Antique Automobile Club of America, which is the Gulf Coast region, and also the Katy Cruisers. So my hands are full.
You've got a long list of things, and you know you must love classic cars because this car is really rare and unique. Talk about the history of the Mark II Lincoln Continental.
Well, it is a very rare car. In fact, this particular car, they only made 67 of them in this color and interior combination. And little Bill Ford, which was the youngest son of Edsel Ford, when he was 28 years old, they put him in charge of bringing out a new car for 1956 to go head-to-head with Cadillac, Mercedes, and what have you. And this was his creation in 1956.
Check out the interior, Isaac. Check out the interior real quick. Let's show people the inside of it as well. Look at that.
One of the interesting things is they used a very fine leather. This was imported from Scotland, and it's glove soft. You can feel how soft it is. And most of the people that ordered these cars ordered it with all leather. But this particular car came with the nylon basket weave and what they call the biscuits. And I'm so glad that the person that ordered this originally, I'm the fourth owner, I can trace it back all the way to the first owner, they ordered it with the nylon cloth interior. So down here, when it's summertime, it's hot.
Oh, yeah.
And black car really absorbs the heat.
Oh, my goodness. And look at the beautiful steering wheel and the gears over there. Look at that.
So it breathes when you're sitting in there with the interior. If it was all leather in summertime, it'd be very cold.
And I love the ashtrays, too. Look straight ahead. Look at those ashtrays over there. You know, you just have to have them in a mid-century car. Everyone's got to have their ashtrays on your left-hand side. Check it out. Yeah. Let's pop open the hood real quick. Show us the beautiful engine.
On the
dials, yeah.
Dials there. The last one is a tachometer.
Okay.
Came from the factory with that.
Oh.
Only the young kids that, used to hot rod, we'd buy it and strap it to the steering column.
And then talk about the cost of the car, too, because it wasn't, it wasn't a cheap car. This particular vehicle cost some money.
It did. This car was the most expensive American-made car in 1956. It cost Ford $11,000 to build the car. They sold it for $10,000, lost $1,000 on every one they built. And
take another round the car. Show the front of the hood, too.
Think about this. The average new home in America back then was around $8,000, 8 to 10. This car was more expensive than a house.
Look at that. And I love the license plates, by the way. Talk about the license plate real quick.
That is the original license plate on the first owner of the car. It's 1956. I got TxDOT to approve me to use it so that I can use it just like anybody else has. And so they approved it. I'll be happy to show you the engine compartment. This car came with factory air, which was the only added expense. Everything was standard with the car. You only had one choice if you wanted air or not. And if you wanted air, it was $640
more.
Well,
open the hood real quick. We want to see the inside of it if we can. Look at this. And check out how well restored this vehicle is.
The valve covers are solid aluminum. Each rib here, you can get a better look, was polished, and the star was polished. This nut on the air cleaner and the power steering pump was a star, again, with the logo of the
Gotta be,
Continental.
look at that.
And then all of this beautiful copper and brass are your air conditioning lines.
Oh.
And they're solid, and they run all the way back to the back of the car where the cooling coil is. And
now, did you lovingly restore this car, or tell people how you got a hold of the car?
well, I've always wanted one of these cars since I first saw it when I was 9 years old. And I joined the Lincoln and Continental Owners Club and said, hey, I'm looking for a Mark II. And they said, well, you need to go see Ron Stein. He's got 3 of them. Maybe he'd be willing to
So
sell
this is a
one.
really rare car, and someone in Houston actually had 3 of them.
Yes. And when these were sold in Houston, there was only 14 of them ever sold in Houston in 1956.
Wow.
But today, I know of 14 of them in town. We have 8 of these cars in our car club. It's so
now,
well
where can
loved.
people get a hold of you and the car club? If they want to get involved, if they maybe just want to be enthusiasts or learn more about your organization, let's give all the social media handles and the websites. Where can people get a hold of you?
Sure. Lincoln Continental Owners Club, it'd be lcoc.org, and they click down, they have different regions, and look for the Texas Gulf Coast region, and that's us.
I love that. So you can learn about the history of all these beautiful cars, but you can also, you might one day want to be in the market for one, and this is the best place to buy one from owners that love and care for these vehicles. You could also get one of these cars as well. Anything else that you want to tell folks about the car?
Well, one of the things that's interesting, when the car came out, they actually hired a guy to, this fella, George Fryer, to make a song for the introduction of the car. And
a little marketing opportunity.
Yeah, and he came over to this country in 1951, and he's a concert pianist. And so if you bought one of these cars, you got one of these.
Look at that, a bonus, a special bonus.
Now, the other interesting thing is that Bill Ford sent a personal letter to every single person that bought one of these cars, thanking them for buying the car.
For believing in his vision.
In his vision.
Look at that. Did you get some interior shots of the car? We'll go inside real quick, guys. You can check out that because we got to see that.
Where the air conditioning comes out.
And you know, you got to have air conditioning in Texas.
Oh, definitely. Also, they sent out this beautiful book.
Oh, look at this book, Isaac. Come here.
Yes, and in order to entice people to buy this automobile, and it's called The Continental Story. And
oh, look, it's so well illustrated. Look at that. So it talks about kind of how it came to concept and came to vision.
Right.
What a great book.
The reason they call it a Mark II is that Bill's father, Edsel, had the first Mark, what we call one. Back in the day, they didn't call it that. But he wanted it to look as if it was a continuation of the line that his father had started.
A legacy.
A legacy.
A legacy. Continue the legacy. I love that.
That's why it's got the little hump in the back, because that's how it was.
Check out the hump, Isaac. And what's behind the hump?
A full-size spare tire.
You see?
You have to have some room for it, so that's why they sculpted it.
And
so
this is how they do. They integrate it into the beautiful body. And then look at this also, another feature that's just really unique and special to the car. So it's just kind of all
these
throughout.
are nostrils, and they take in fresh air to recirculate air and air to the air conditioning. And what's interesting is Ferrari more or less copied this design in the 80s, and they use that to cool the disc brakes on their car.
The white wall tires, look at that too, those tires. Now, you had a fun story about the tires, right?
Well, I had more of a fun story about the
rims?
The rims.
The rims, yeah.
Now, you can get these classic white wall tires from, these particular tires are from Diamondback. And they have to be exactly 3 inches wide if you're going to be judged. And so those are, if you measure them, are 3-inch wide white walls. The next year in 57, they reduced the size of that, so they're not nearly as wide. But the interesting thing, of course, is about the hubcap. Back in the day, they didn't call it a hubcap, they called it a show cover.
I love that. Look, marketing term, show cover.
Right. And originally, this car was to have wire wheels on it. Bill Ford liked the wires on Buicks and Packards and
Is there one in the
beautiful
trunk?
wire struts. Yes.
He's going to pop the trunk open, too. Check it out. Get back over there and look at the back of the car.
Well, it was made by Dayton, and Dayton made a beautiful wire wheel. About the first 4 cars off the assembly line had these beautiful white, wonderful design spokes for the car. But the problem with Dayton is they didn't tell them how heavy this car is. Weighs 5,400 pounds.
Oh, my goodness.
Stress level. And they said, look, this car's most expensive car made. You hit a pothole, they're going to collapse.
Well, show us real quick. Let's see what you're
I've got
talking
an
about
extra-
here. Let's do
Got
this.
an extra hubcap here.
Okay.
So Bill Forbes went looking.
Now, did it come with carpet originally in the interior?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, my goodness. Carpet in the interior of the trunk? Okay.
So he went looking and found they couldn't find a hubcap that he liked. And so they showed him this one. I think of it without the fins. And he said, well, Cadillac was here, and they decided that they liked it, but it was too expensive. Well, that's all Bill Ford needed to hear. So he says, I'll take it. But I want it to look kind of spooky because, like my wire wheels, I wanted. So here's what they came up with. 42 hand-bolted fins on this hubcap.
Look at the detail in this hubcap.
Can you imagine the amount
of labor that
labor
goes.
intensive of drilling 42 holes and putting each one of these on there, and feel how heavy this is. This is no plastic.
That's great. Oh, my goodness. Well, Dean Forbes, we've run out of time, but I want to thank you again. Thank you for your service in the Navy. Thank you for your decades with the Sheriff's Department. It's great to have you joining us on our first show that we're doing here. We're, again, focusing on 4603 Ivanhoe. Okay, this, again, is a listing by Star Massing with Boulevard Realty, and we're going to take you inside the house shortly. But first, we're going to meet architect and legend Steve Curry, okay, Houston area guy, all about HoustonMod, and very shortly, okay? Thank you again, sir. Thank you, Dean Forbes, with numerous car clubs, and we're going to put all your information in the bio below so we can let people know how to find you. Okay?
And of course, it works great with the house being a 56. You got to have a 56 automobile, right?
You've done a great job showcasing it as well. Take care. Let's do one more ride around the car. One more view of this real quick. And then we're going to take you to learn more about Houston modern architecture on the residential side by an organization that focuses on this. I'm, of course, talking about HoustonMod. HoustonMod is a gem in our city. If you're not liking and following their social media pages, you need to, okay? You're on Facebook now. You might as well like HoustonMod on Facebook. By the way, I want Isaac to check out the house from a distance. Look, once again, this is the carport of the house. There it is. Look how beautiful this house is on the outside. Look at that, okay? Classic car or no classic car, the house is amazing, okay? We're going to make our way over here now. I want to show you this feature on the wall because this is really special, and we're going to take you inside a little bit later on with Star Massing for Boulevard Realty, and she's going to show you inside the house, including this private courtyard over here as well. What you may not be able to notice is how it kind of curves. Just a really, really attractive curve that also matches with the brickwork as well. So again, all this is part of the house and part of the tour we're about to give you right now. We're about to go inside shortly. Before we do, we got to talk to Steve Curry because he's the man when it comes to Houston modern architecture. Hey, Steve Curry, how are you, sir?
Good to see you. Good to see you this morning.
Oh my gosh, Steve Curry, architect, but also president for HoustonMod.
Right.
So where are we at, by the way? Talk about this house, because you know you love this house. And
well,
you guys have a history with this house, too. HoustonMod does.
It's true. It's true. We're at the intersection of Ivanhoe and Kettering Streets in Afton Oaks. This particular part of Afton Oaks is called Royden Oaks. And this is one of our greatest examples of our mid-century architectural legacy in the city. This is a very exciting place to be this morning.
And I want to walk around. First off, Afton Oaks is a beautiful part of Houston. Let's walk over here, Steve, so we can get away from the house. And Isaac, come back so we can see more of the house from a distance, all right? But this house is special. It's on a corner, and many folks love corner houses because it really takes advantage of a lot of the space here. But I want Isaac to get back and really look at the angles. But I also love this, to look at this feature, by the way. Isn't this neat? These little concrete pillars that obviously predate the telephone, the actual poles that you see nowadays, but they actually post-date those little blue tiles in Houston.
And like the house itself, I just want to chime in. Look at what good condition it's in. This thing is as old as the house, since this house was one of the first ones developed in this section of Afton Oaks. And like the house, it's as good as new. Look at the thing. It's a beautiful piece of cast concrete.
Well, let's talk about the house and the individuals. So now come this way and let me know, paint people a picture of, I'll paint people a picture of Houston back in the 1940s and 50s, especially late 40s and early 50s. The Afton Oaks neighborhood was established, or at least started to be developed in 1951, and you have a city growing, a city on the move here in Houston. Yeah. But talk about the architect, Alan Williams.
Sure. So Alan Ross Williams was born in Abilene, went to school at the University of Texas in Austin, and he and his wife Thessalone moved here in the late 40s to start their practice after World War II. And as his practice was growing, as their family was growing, they found this lot on this corner, and so they very purposefully selected it. And as Mr. McKinney said, one of the great first things to say about the house is how well sited it is. Corner houses sometimes don't know where they are the way this one does. But On Kettering, it shelters the carport and the cars. It's a 2-story element with the stacked bedrooms on the second floor, so you get a sense of shelter. You also get this great east light that we see here this morning. And as you turn the corner on the north side, you get this really interesting combination of features. A shady porch that's facing north, so it's always going to be in the shade. You've got a dramatic roof line, and you've got a really unique element in Houston, and unique for mid-century architecture, which is this torqued or twisted chimney. As we walk around, you'll see it's not a standard chimney.
Let's walk around and show people the chimney.
Good.
Let's show people the house itself. Of course, there's Star Massing sign over there, Star Massing Boulevard Realty. And by the way, you can give her a call and go on to her social media sites, 832-640-1628. If you're interested in learning more about the house, that's who you want to call, because she is the listing agent for the house. But she's also someone who loves art, loves architecture, and loves history. So we're happy to showcase the house on Mr. McKinney's Historic Houston, because we want to find a good homeowner. Isn't that our goal?
Absolutely. And this is a deserving home. If there was a home that should be submitted to and part of the City of Houston's Protected Landmark Program, this is it. This has got the pedigree, this has got the uniqueness, and it's in the condition that certainly warrants it. I mean, we're looking at all original materials here, namely the brick is in great shape. It's all exposed, so you can see what great shape the foundation is in. The siding, it's a unique combination. This is a really remarkable blend of a conventional ranch house of the day, of some of the organic elements of Frank Lloyd Wright's, what he was known for, and then you see let's say a Spanish influence of the American Southwest in the way some of the structure is exposed, in the way the brick is beveled. You'll see that these beams, let's say this beam at the peak of the roof, this gable roof that is above this very interesting window shape here, you'll see when we go inside that it extends all the way through that house, that peak of that roof is continuous, and it's exposed all the way through. So that's a dramatic element.
I love this landscaping feature right here too, with this little hill area slash brick. That's really just something special in the home itself.
You'll see that in the best of the landscape architecture of the day. Roberto Burle Marx in Brazil was the one who made popular the best of these organic forms, and it really does. It flatters the house very well. This landscaping is not original to the house here in front, but it really does flatter the house in the entrance to the porch.
Look at that. Well, let's go up to the porch area and the front door, and we'll talk more. You know, I'd like to know a little more. I know the viewers would also, about HoustonMod. Talk about the nonprofit organization that you serve as the president of, and that you work closely with. We'll go over here in the shade as we keep. Look at the house behind me, by the way. Isn't it beautiful? But real quick, talk about HoustonMod a little bit and what you guys do and why it's important to save these mid-century gems.
So HoustonMod was formed about 15 years ago with the realization that the mid-century architecture that we have here was a legacy that was underappreciated, not really recognized as historic. This house, for instance, is over 50 years old, so any historic designation,
qualifies,
local, state, or national, it's certainly qualified for. But a lot of early modern architecture is mistaken, I think, for contemporary modern. People don't always realize that that's why it's great to have Dean's car here with us today. That car from 1956, everybody knows that's a gem from the day, right? They don't make those anymore. This house, the drawings for the house, which fortunately are still with the house, are dated.
Which you discovered,
1956.
Yeah. If you go to HCAD, by the way, for full disclosure, it does say 1952, but often HCAD does sometimes get it wrong. But you discovered through the plans, as an architect, you were able to look and find the dated time as at least the house was created or a concept in that time period.
Exactly.
Which is 4 years later, which is
Which means that in this case, the Williams had the lot, and they considered very carefully what the design would be, and we're going to enjoy those elements today that they planned over that period of time.
I love that. They're spending time on the house. Now, talk a little bit about, Mr. Williams being kind of a pioneer in a building type of home that really it didn't take off the way he probably would have wanted to, but it was significant.
Right. It was a standard concrete modular system that he called century built. So these were the century built homes. There were about a little more than a dozen of those built, several of which are still extant in Houston in remarkably good, restored, well cared for condition. So you can find those on the HoustonMod website. Look at Alan Williams Architect, and those will come up.
And shout out to one of your board members, Ben Couch, who lovingly restored, one of the homes too.
It's featured, as is a couple of the others. So that's a great example of one. So that was some of his early work. That predated this more custom project. But he's best known for his houses. He also did commercial work. He collaborated and worked with several architects, his contemporaries of the day. So he was a major force in that post-war period of Houston's architectural development.
I love it. You're going to learn so much about Houston architecture and Houston mid-century architecture by following and liking HoustonMod on all their social media platforms, HOUSTONMOD. Again, HoustonMod, and you can find .org for the website, and you can find out more information about them. To become a member of HoustonMod and support your nonprofit, what do membership levels start at the low level?
It starts at $35 for an individual. It goes up for membership and additional donations. Like all nonprofits, we are dependent on membership participation and support. So we would appreciate that if you go to our website.
It means a lot, by the way, to be able to support local nonprofits here in Houston, including HoustonMod. And now you have a really fun event that y'all do once a month. You haven't done it in a while because of COVID, but things are getting, it's an opportunity to kind of change how we do things with COVID. But what do y'all normally do so that viewers can go out there and just stay tuned? This is an example of the fun projects that y'all do on a monthly basis pre-COVID. What were y'all doing? It was called?
It's called Mod of the Month program. Thank you, Russell Howard, who's led it for years on our board. So Mod of the Month is a chance to, usually it's a residence, like this one's a good example. This Sunday from 2 to 5, Star Massing's working with us to have this house open on a limited basis with masks and with proper distancing. So no charge, there never is. Be prepared to wait, perhaps, as we let in people as we can. This is a good size house, but there'll be a limit to how many people can see it. So anytime between 2 and 5 on this Sunday, as an example, this house will be open for tour. There'll be docents here to answer any questions. It's just a great opportunity to let people see a house that, in this case, hasn't been open to the public in quite a while.
You got it. See for yourself. Again, you're enjoying the virtual tour experience right now, but you can actually come here in person on this Sunday if you're watching this video live right now.
And I wish that Mrs. Williams could be with us today. She's here in Houston. She just this month, she celebrated her 101st birthday with family and friends. So, hi, Tessie. I wish you were here with us. I wish you could come on Sunday. But she knows we're celebrating the house, and it's full of great memories, starting with those that she and her family made here.
Wonderful. Thank you again to Steve Curry, president of HoustonMod. We do appreciate it. Now, real quick, lastly, give us 3 things we should look out for in this house.
So when you go inside, you'll see right away, it's very unique and interesting spatially. The flow of the house, I think I briefly mentioned, this is an L-shaped, 2-story, facing the long side, facing Kettering, 1 story as it tapers down to Ivanhoe. So you'll get that right away when you walk in. What you see outside is reflected inside. So the spatial arrangement is quite unique. It's a flamboyant and a really wonderful expression of what's happening inside and outside. And that really segues into number 2, which is like a lot of the mid-century. There's inside-outside opportunities throughout. They made maximum use of this great corner lot. I'm looking right over your shoulder. I'm looking through into the backyard.
Wow.
It's developed. That's the kind of thing you get with that. And then related to that as well is the use of materials both inside and outside. So this brick and this brick veneer in wonderful condition is an element inside that you'll see throughout. And it's used in really creative and interesting ways. It's used around windows, which are not what you expect from a window necessarily. You'll see all kinds of great shapes and great ways to bring light into the house. So I hope you enjoy.
And then also, too, there's a little bit of evidence of the family. So one of the things you're going to get, by the way, when you buy this house, and Star Massing give you all the details about the asking price for it, but when you get the house it's actually the architect's actual house. So you get a lot of the personalization in the home. You said it best earlier when we talked, too. I mean, the best materials are used for the house. A lot of detail is played, but it was also where the family made it their home. Talk about maybe 2 things that we can look for in the house for evidence of that.
There's one thing inside and one thing outside. You'll see the inside interior element right by the stairs. It's part of this unique flooring system, this poured concrete terrazzo floor, which has been exposed and refinished. It's in really great shape. The other one is outside. When you go into the backyard, also in the pavement outside, you'll see another interesting evidence of the original family of the house.
So 2 hidden elements that Steve Curry is warning you about, so you're going to look for them shortly. Thank you so much, Mr. Curry, for joining us. We do appreciate it. And now we're going to go inside and meet Star Massing, the realtor of Boulevard Realty. She's going to take us through the house, room by room, so you can learn and see for yourself. So we're looking forward to this, okay? Actually, let me do this real quick because we're going to be indoors and close. I'm going to put my mask on. There we go. Do the right thing. Here we are. Bear with me for a second. I'm sure you can still hear me, and we'll ask that question too in a second. Here we go. All right, putting it on. Okay, here we go. See who's home.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, it's Star Massing of Boulevard Realty. How are you, Star?
Good. How are you? welcome.
Oh, well, thank you so much for allowing us to come inside and really tour this space. I mean, we are so thrilled to be able to
So happy
offer
to
it.
show you this house.
Yes, well, real quick, just, I mean, as we walk around, just tell us about the house.
Well, this is one of the great mid-mods that we have here in Houston, and it is truly a spectacular home. One of the things that's different about this home with other mid-mods is that it has a very high ceiling. It's very large. It's 3,536 square feet. It's on an 8,140 square foot lot. It's huge. Beautiful terrazzo tiles, gorgeous windows that are geometric shapes. The new owner has replaced all of the sliding glass door windows and the large windows here, but it's kept the geometric windows the same as they were originally. And we have beautiful seating here that is all wood seating.
Look at that. And that's not original, but
Right, it's not original. The original was brick, but the wood works very well and is a very nice modern update.
I love the way the modern update is because it fits with the house. It fits really well with the house. Well,
yes.
let's continue to just take us through.
Sure. And a lot of these homes, too, they painted over the brick, but these were, the sellers really wanted to keep the house original. And so you'll see all of this beautiful brick throughout the house. And this is an original wood-burning fireplace, which is wonderful because it actually has a little space where it has a chute that goes out to the back where you can empty out the ashes very easily.
You know, they thought of everything, and this is exactly what Steve Curry was talking about earlier. He said, you know, it's the architect's home, so there's going to be really cool features that, you know, no attention is spared. So how about that? Well, let's keep walking through.
Sure. Let's walk around here. Beautiful, big open space here in the living room. And when you're sitting down here, the views to the ceiling in this area are just spectacular.
You know, and what's great about this house, too, is it was a little bit warm outside for an October day. You probably saw me with my handkerchief, but it's fine in here. I mean, this house...
Very cool.
This house chills really, really well.
It does. And look at the vents. They come from the ground, and the air conditioner has been recently replaced, just like this last year, and you can feel it from the house. It's very cold in here.
You know, I can feel it blowing. My hand's here, and I can still feel it blowing, and that just and they're all throughout the entire house. I mean, that's a rare feature, which is funky and fresh and makes the house look special. And look at this. So there used to be a planter here, but what's so neat is they've done a really good job with this.
Yes. So there was I think this was a brick ledge that went around this edge here. And the previous owners had covered over the terrazzo with linoleum tile. And, you know, it was probably very trendy at that time, but the new sellers have unearthed all the beautiful terrazzo. And this was one of the areas that they had, I guess, sanded down at one time, but just beautiful.
Well, let's go through because first off,
Sure.
here's the dining space.
Yes, very large, and they've put in new lighting fixtures. All of the electrical has been updated. The plumbing has been updated. They've just done a beautiful job.
You know, and I like how this seats 6 right now, but there is so much extra room here. If you had a larger table, you could fit here. If you want to put another piece of furniture here, so this really is a lot of space.
Absolutely. There's plenty of space in this dining room to make it much larger if you wanted to.
Okay, so speaking of dining room, now we got to go to the kitchen and see what's cooking, so let's check it out.
The kitchen is one of my favorite parts of the house. They have done such a good job updating this. And what I love is that they kept all of the cabinet faces original. So Mr. Williams had these cabinet fronts in his house, but the new seller has updated it so that all of these drawers are soft close. Everything, the hardware has been replaced, so it's very modern and beautiful. All of the countertops have been replaced with a Carrara marble, which gives it a really nice modern feel that fits with the house. They've also got wonderful pantry spaces back here that are nice and modern, but
And they're
fitting.
large, and there's 2 of them. There's one over there as well on your left-hand side by the beautiful stainless steel refrigerator. And then look at this feature here.
Yes, isn't this wonderful? So this is where the original stove was, and I'm guessing this was just for extra storage.
Yeah, effect
here.
storage.
I'm not quite sure what that, but beautiful. And they did such a good job of keeping everything to the period, but also updating it in a very modern way.
I love that. Well, take us outside of this private space because...
Dog door here, so the dog can go out. And when we head outside, the first thing you'll notice is all of the spectacular oak trees that are here in Afton Oaks. I mean, that's one of the great things about living in Afton Oaks is that you have so many mature trees.
You know, it's true to its name. You know, Afton Oaks, these are beautiful oak trees that really kind of amazing canopy over this space, including the house. But I think this will be wonderful for just an afternoon out or an evening out. But look at this, and it continues. That beautiful brick we saw earlier, those features continue all throughout the house. So this is a really neat private space, barbecue space. You can, have some music and guests out here. Well, let's continue to go inside the house, and let's check out some other. Oh, look at this feature, too. I mean, that's original to the house, and it just kind of pops, too.
Yes, there are some wonderful little ledges around the house. You'll notice when we go up the staircase, around the staircase, too, there's some ledges that sort of stick out around the edge here. Beautiful. One of the things you should notice right here is this checkerboard. Now, this checkerboard was created by the owner, Alan Williams, for his children so that they could play checkers while Mrs. Williams was cooking in the kitchen.
I love that. Look at that. That is actually built in to the stone, the terrazzo floors. That's amazing. And it's kind of great because, the kids could have played checkers or chess while mom is cooking, and she can still keep an eye on them.
Right.
So how
Or
about
dad.
that? Or dad. You're right. Let's be fair. Or dad. Well, let's go up here. And now, what used to be here? Tell listeners and viewers here.
This used to be where they had a piano at one time. And so this is where they would play piano. This is like the music area. But now they've updated it to be a wonderful little office space, which is very functional. On the other side of this is a little coffee bar. So just making the whole space, updating it enough to where it's very functional.
I think that's very important. People that look at older homes or mid-century homes probably think, the inside is not what it is, but what they've done here makes it a 21st century home as well. They've really taken it to a new level. Well, let's go over. Everybody loves closets, by the way. I went underneath the staircase. Check out this. Here we go.
Yes.
Great
Lots of
storage actually
space.
throughout. There's lots of great storage throughout. So there it is underneath the staircase. Another closet behind Star Massing over here. So just they're everywhere.
Yes, so this is one of the guest bedrooms. And again, you've got looking out these windows, the beautiful oak trees. And what I understand from the history of this house on the floor plans is that terrazzo floors are beneath this floor. So
isn't that great? Hidden gems.
Yes, this is one of the areas that they never unearthed, but it perhaps could be by the next buyer.
I love that. So little hidden gems. And look, these closets, like I said, are built throughout. They've got these great fixtures that kind of continue, and they're just really special. So I love this. It could be an office, right? This could be a spare bedroom. It could be anything you want it to be, but the lighting makes it a really great, I think, reading space, studio space, office space. So, the possibilities are endless. Well, let's keep going. In fact, let's take people, if you've got a guest bathroom, if people want to go someplace, this is where they're going to go. Check it out.
This guest bathroom is wonderful. It's got a sunken shower area, and everything in here has been updated. All of the fixtures and finishes have been updated beautifully.
And it's just a unique space. I mean, I think if the house itself is unique, but it kind of continues that little legacy and tradition. As you're going inside, you can kind of, your guests will be like, once again, treated by some surprise in this house. And it's very well decorated, by the way. I mean, I love how a lot of mid-century folks typically find ways to, make their style and the furniture kind of match the home itself. Mm-hmm. So let's continue. We're actually about to go upstairs, okay? So here we go. Yes, check it out. And I wanted to look at this nice little hidden area. You can put plants underneath here or just keep it clean the way it is now. But
for a little dog bed.
Yeah, dog bed. There you go.
Come up the stairs. Now, these stairs are original to the house. They are stained pine, I believe.
Stained pine. Let's stay here. Look at this. I love this landing. I'm telling you, you're here. You can see everything. Again, the house is nice and cool as well. You can just feel the breeze from the AC system coming in. But more importantly, if you're entertaining folks, this is a great place to be to say hello to your guests as you come down the stairs.
And the stairs are lit, so you can see the lighting around the edge. When you come up here, you have a very spacious area for just relaxing, watching TV. Nice open area, and you'll feel like you're in a tree house because there's trees all around, tons of natural light.
Great lighting. And this is the window that Steve Curry mentioned outside with HoustonMod. He was very specific about how, in some homes, they might have covered that beam you see over there on your left-hand side. But in this home, because of the architect and his style, he wants to embrace it. And you really see some unique features in the home itself. And I love the idea that people can come here on Sunday and get a special sneak peek if they want to see it for themselves, So how about that?
Well, this home has been featured as Mod of the Month. And so we are having a special open house this Sunday from 2 to 5.
And real quick, Star, give your social media handles. I want people to make sure that they like and follow Star Massing and let people know about that, because you're doing a great thing by allowing us to feature the house to get a good home buyer who's going to love this house as much as I do and Steve Curry does and you do.
Thank you.
Give us your social media handles and your information.
You can Google me. I'm really the only Star Massing on social media. So if you Google my name, you'll find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can also reach me by email at star@starmassing.com, or you can call me, 832-640-1628.
And you work for Boulevard Realty. I know that they, Bill Baldwin's great, and he's active with Houston Planning, and he focuses on preservation. You've got a wonderful office right there in the Heights area, So real quick, just kind of maybe talk about some other homes that you might have, in the area upcoming.
Well, I have several homes in the Heights, and I work with Gotham Builders, so I'm doing some new construction there. I've got some homes on the near north side, and
that's hot. That's popping.
Absolutely, and I'm always working with new buyers. So if there's new buyers out there,
you see,
I would be happy to take those on.
So I love that. So it doesn't have to be just, things that are, old and antique and beautiful and vintage, but it's also things that are brand new. So you've got something for everybody. But I just want people to know that, like I said, we are very grateful for Star Massing for opening up this home to us and allowing us to take you through a tour. And you can show how grateful you are by just simply liking your page. It costs you nothing, right, on social media. Okay, well, let's continue to go forward. I love this feature. Talk about what's directly above us.
Yes, well, this is a built-in valance.
With frosted glass.
Yes, lighting. And this was original to the home, I believe. And you'll also see it downstairs. Yes, down there you'll see the lighting as well as up here. Beautiful, really unique. And this hallway is so wide and expansive. I really love that about this house.
It's a very spacious hallway. I mean, you could put a couch there. You could put a desk here. I mean, there's a lot of space here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And this is one of the guest bedrooms, which in each of the bedrooms, you'll feel like you're in a tree house. It's just one of my favorite things about this house.
Well, let's go. We're going to take us inside. Check this out.
And this gives you a nice view over the courtyard area.
And I love how they have enough room for a built-in desk for a young person, so it's right over there, and you get the great views. And like you said earlier,
all the windows have been updated.
Yeah, these are updated, energy-efficient windows that slide open, and that's a great floor-to-ceiling window, And this is actually a comfortable, spacious bedroom space.
Nice big closet.
Bed here and a big closet behind us. Mm-hmm. Well, let's continue.
Okay, let's do that.
And again, Isaac, one more time looking at how you would look if you were greeting guests downstairs. I mean, just this view, the amount of space, the amount of natural light. I mean, this is a rare home. It's a gem, and you're not going to find anything like this anywhere because it's actually the architect's home, and that's what makes the house special. It makes it a one-of-a-kind experience to be able to walk through the house, but also to own the house. You're owning a piece of Houston history. You're owning a piece of Houston mid-century modern history. Well, let's continue.
Well, you shouldn't miss this view because this view is wonderful. It looks over the backyard, and you can see that you cannot see into any of the neighbors' windows. It's all covered by beautiful, mature trees, and you've got a great view to the Williams Tower.
That is $1 billion view. Look at that right there. Geraldine Hines, who we lost earlier this year, that is one of his iconic structures. Philip Johnson, John Berge, 1983, 64 stories tall. Steve Curry also was joking about that awesome beacon. He and I both live in Southwest Houston, and you know how to get home. You follow the beacon. But I love that it's perfectly framed in your window when you wake up in the morning. And speaking of waking up, let's go into this bedroom over here, the second bedroom over here. Check it out. This is probably the tree house because the tree is right there.
For sure. Just all of the windows in each of the bedrooms have fabulous views. And, I mean, the house was positioned for the most amount of light and the best views to the trees. He really did a great job of thinking how the outside comes in.
Yeah, it does it in such a great way, and I think probably one of the reasons why the house is so cool is because it has these great canopies that protect it, so that's really nice. And look at this built-in little cabinet over here, little bookshelf over here. That's wonderful to have that by the return. Look at that. Go inside, Isaac, and let's check out the restroom real quick, and we're gonna point out a couple of features there, but look at that.
So this guest room was completely remodeled. You can see the fun wallpaper that they've used. I love that. And the new tile on the floor, Duravid sink, beautiful. Everything has been updated so nicely in here.
And I love the window, too, is frosted for privacy, but still lets in some light, which is wonderful. Look, that's all built in. That's original on your left-hand side. Just pan over to that on the bottom. Right there, you can see all built-in cabinetry and those wonderful ledges you talked about earlier to maybe put some items on or just kind of just be able to have there. Look at that.
And the lighting fixtures are so nice, too. They really did a great job.
It works well. You can decorate it yourself or you probably keep what they have here because it really is special. Absolutely. Look at this.
Now we're going into the primary suite.
Primary suite. Here we go.
Well, the first thing you'll see to your left is the primary bathroom, which also has fabulous wallpaper, and a big walk-in shower, updated sinks, tons of cabinetry below. You've got lots of room in this bathroom.
Look at that. And again, you can change the wallpaper, you can make it your own, or you can keep it the way it is. Look at this shower with 3 different shower heads, great marble. Very open, very spacious. Has a light inside as well, too. There you go. So that's just kind of a nice little feature there. Well, let's go into the primary actual bedroom space because we want to see it. And I love these pocket doors, by the way. These are all throughout. So you have these pocket doors built in, so it really saves some space.
And when you come into the bedroom, of course, you'll notice all of the light and this very cool mod light fixture that they put in here. Of course, this is a king size bed. This room is very spacious.
So this is look, even with the king size bed, there's plenty of room right here.
Oh, yeah.
There's just a lot of space in this house.
Sure, you could put a sofa here. You could, you could do a lot of things with this bedroom.
And so it has 2 closets, 2 really big closets.
Yes, 2 closets and an extra closet here. So it's
oh my
actually
gosh.
3 closets.
Look at that. There are 3 large closets with double doors that open up. That is neat. That's a lot of room, and people love their closet space.
And if you even wanted more space, you could build out and even have more closet space.
You see, you could even customize it. We love that. And look at those light fixtures over there. I just think that's wonderful. Talk about that.
So those light fixtures are really fun. As I mentioned before, the wiring has been updated, but that is a panel that turns off all of the lights in the house at one time, which is very cool, I think.
That's a huge benefit. If you forgot to turn the kitchen light off, you can just, get out of your bed and hit a button a couple feet away, and there you go. And Isaac, come here and let's check out the backyard. We're about to go downstairs, but I just want to let you see it from this vantage point.
Isn't that wonderful? This yard there's plenty of room to add a pool if somebody wanted to. It's enormous.
Yeah, you could do a lot with this backyard. And you mentioned earlier the privacy behind all these great, trees here and vegetation that's here. That really, really is a special feature. Talk a little bit about just kind of the landscaping here.
Yeah, so, we'll see it a little bit closer when we get outside, but they have, the owners now have put in all of the hardscape that you see, and they've updated the landscaping, so you'll see that steel vegetable bed back there. It's for vegetables or herbs, which is wonderful. And they've got a very large dining table here, so you have extra outdoor space to entertain guests.
Well, let's check it out. We'll go down there and see for ourselves. But I love the fact that you get a bird's eye view from it. So we'll lead the way, and we'll make our way back down. And again, please notice how wide the hallways are, how generous the light is in this house. This is really a unique living space that you're not going to get anywhere else in the world, because guess what? It's the architect's house. Okay, so how about that? And the lighting that Star Massing mentioned earlier kind of goes throughout, so in the evening, never fear, you can make your way down these very generous, very wide steps, and here you are into, once again, the dining room space. We mentioned the kitchen earlier. I do want to point out a really cool feature which shows you the architect's vision in the house. We showed you the AC earlier. This is the return vent. Isn't that wonderful how it's built in? Look at that. This house has lots of great hidden features. That's the door that's going to take you to the carport, which we're going to show you towards the end. But let's make our way outside now because...
Just to point point out too, right behind that door is a large utility room where the washer and dryer is.
Absolutely. We were in there earlier, large space. You can do the washer dry there too. So let's open this door. And she mentioned earlier these efficient windows windows and doors have all been updated.
So easy close. Yes.
Slide and easy close. Look at that. I love it.
Okay, so now we're outside. One of the cool things that you'll notice right away is the names Ross and Glenn right here on the...
Yes. Okay, so this is another hidden feature that Steve Curry told us about. Yes. Look at that.
Ross Glenn. That was Mr. Williams' children's names. That's his boys' names.
Yes.
Yes.
He had two sons, and there they are. So it's really neat to be able to. We hope people keep that, by the way. So hopefully you'll keep that as a feature in the house. But wonderful. That is wonderful to have that connect all the dots.
Absolutely.
And then look at this area. We talked about it earlier.
Yes, plenty of seating space.
Oh my gosh.
Great. Yeah, you can just sit back here and enjoy yourself.
Look
have a
at
cocktail.
this.
It's perfect.
It is perfect. And Isaac, go around the corner and check out that chimney that Steve Curry mentioned earlier, how it twists and curves the way that it does. Again, all these unique features that you're only going to see, only in this kind of a home. And like I said, now, let's come over here in the shade and we'll talk more about. Now, there used to be a big, beautiful tree here, but that actually opens up an opportunity.
Right. Well, the tree is gone now. I'm not sure when it went away, but now you have enough room if you wanted to add a pool, or you could just enjoy this green space. It's so nice out here. And with this beautiful steel planter that they've got here, you can add more plants. Over here is the dining room. They have it set up with a dining room table. They also have gas here for a gas.
Nice, a gas
grill.
Yes, look at that. And it's far away from the house, so it's over here, but still it's close enough to the table. So I love this. Now, people want to know about the house and the price. So let people know the listing price right now.
It's $1,550,000, and every bit worth it.
Absolutely. You saw it. Look at the house from here, by the way.
Yes.
Every bit worth it. A rare piece of Houston's history, the home of famed architect, Alan Williams. Okay, this is his home that he built for he and his family. Now, let's come over here because we want to go say goodbye now. We're getting close to the end. We'll go this way. And there's actually two rooms that people should know about, okay? Oh, look, it's our buddy Steve Curry and Mr. Forbes. How are y'all? Look at Dean Forbes and Steve Curry. Talk about these spaces over here.
So this is one large room back here where you can keep bikes. It goes pretty far back. It could be an office. It's very spacious and air conditioned. So you can store a lot of things back here.
I love that. It's a bonus feature to the house as well, and it's far away. So it could be a lot of different things. And you mentioned the air conditioner earlier.
It goes all the way back to the fence line, so it's very spacious.
Look at that. Okay.
Carport.
Room for 2 cars plus more cars over there in the shade.
And they also have it connected for an electric car. So if you have a Tesla or a Audi e-tron or something, you can just plug it right in.
Forward thinking. Look at Steve Curry. Open that up for us. Our new Vanna White. There he is. But that's just a great feature, by the way, because, that's an added cost you don't have to worry about.
Absolutely.
Well, I love that.
All modern features in a really cool mid-mod.
Wow. Okay, so once again, thank you so much to Star Massing for allowing us to go inside the home and give you a virtual tour of it. There's her information again. Star Massing, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy you came.
Yeah, well, we're happy you shared it with us. And also want to make sure we thank Steve Curry with HoustonMod. Steve Curry, thank you again. And, of course, Dean Forbes with his beautiful 1956 Lincoln Continental Mark II, a rare gem. So we're going to say goodbye right now. We're going to sign off and tell you thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you like and follow Mr. McKinney's Historic Houston and the Houston History Bus for information about what we do on board our school bus teaching Houston about Houston's past, okay? And we'll bring you more events just like this in the future, but make sure you like and follow our stuff so you can find out about them. Again, thank you to Star Massing. We'll give her information at the bottom of the video as well because we want to find a good homeowner for this amazing Houston gem. You can help us by simply liking and sharing this video. When you share this video, more people are going to see it, and we'll find that gem, that Houston homeowner that's going to take care of this house for the next 50 years, okay? Thank you so much, Houston. Take care, and we'll see you next time.